Hi, my name's Jessie Chen. I'm the holder of this diary. Call it When Traveling. Eiffel Tower seems to be born to be a professional model. I feel like she's not that kind of model having eye-catching appearance when seeing it alone. Rather, she's that type who is able to radiate different charm based on different scenes, which I think is the reason why she always looks gorgeous in a photo. December 10th, 2021. In Paris, France. After hanging around Eiffel Tower, I then went to District Latin. Oh, I do love this district. The diversity and the fusion just made me so fascinated about it. Walking on the street, I feel like there was endless energy pumped into my body. Every step was so magically light. Well, with some macaron, that would be more right. I then went to a G brand, bought 2 macarons of different flavors. One is chocolate and the other is pistachio, and walked to Notre Dame with a delightful mood. After visiting Notre Dame, I went to the famous bookstore on the left bank of the Seine, Shakespeare and Company. I lingered there around 10 minutes. Not too long, I know, because to be honest, I'm not a super big fan of literature. And I then walked south to Pantheon, where many great people from France like Jean-Jacques Rousseau, Voltaire, Victor Hugo, Marie Curie were buried. The architectures there are magnificent, absolutely, but for me, it's a bit overwhelming. I somehow feel like there's an invisible wall between me and those buildings. They're too magnificent to be close to, for me. And the most important thing was, how can I find a restroom in such a stunningly magnificent area? At the beginning, I was thinking going to a library like I did in Estonia. This strategy seemed to be workable because I did find one next to the Pantheon. However, the library there doesn't work like the one in Estonia, which everyone can visit just as their wishes. To the contrary, it seems I needed a library card or something to get inside. Alright, I don't think I can enter any of the buildings here without any form of permission. So I decided to take a 15-minute bus to a seemingly more approachable library, which is called Library Forney. My calculation was, once I got there, I would first pretend to be a normal reader, and then walk to the restroom naturally and release my physical need quickly. However, the reality just proved that I was too naive. When I went inside, there was a barrier right in front of me, and the librarians were just sitting aside. It turned out, even though it's just a small library, a library card is still required. I guess this might be a norm in Paris or in France. For some security reasons? Maybe. Fine, this won't take too long anyway, I thought, so I started to take the process. And it was during this process that I spoke the most French during my 3 days in Paris. And when it was processed passed, suddenly the librarian asked me to fill in my address. Is it compulsory? I asked. Yes, the librarian answered. But I'm actually not a resident here. What should I do? I talked to myself secretly. Of course. At the moment I was thinking, maybe I should just ask him where the toilet is and stop the whole unnecessary process. And I even quickly came up the idea of how to express naturally without showing any awkwardness. My strategy was telling him, oh, actually I'm not a resident here. If I'm not qualified, then it's okay. And by the time I was seemingly going to leave, I could ask naturally, excuse me, where's the toilet? Sounds perfect, right? But the thing was, the librarian had prepared a card for me and written down my name on it. It looked like he didn't want his effort to be in vain and still waiting me to write something on the form. So I then wrote down the address of the hostel I stayed. Yeah, I'm sorry, sir. And while I was filling in the form, he introduced me a little bit about the library. This is an art library which possesses books related to painting, sculptures, movies, etc. Are you a student studying in art? Yes, I responded without any hesitation. Though actually I feel like my mind was getting an electric shock at the moment I heard his question. I wasn't a student and my major wasn't art. I don't know why I lied. Either I just wanted the thing to be done quickly or my French wasn't good enough to handle that situation. It was just spoken out. Finally, we came to the last step. The librarian was talking about some resources I can use in the library. And I was keeping saying, oui, okay, d'accord, because I really wanted to go to the toilet as soon as possible then. Okay, you're good now. The process finally finished. And while I was about to go inside, I asked the librarian where the restroom was. And I was almost gonna kill myself when I heard the answer. It's downstairs, outside. That's it. I got the library card for an unnecessary reason. Written by Jessie Chan. Thanks for your reading.